The deadline to vote in the Conservative Party leadership race, in order to do that, you need to have a membership. And so that deadline is tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So if you want to be able to support Leslyn Lewis, you have to buy a membership. And it's only $15 to do so. You don't even have to be 18 years old. For those 14 years old and older are able to become a member of the Conservative Party and vote in the leadership race. You don't have to be a citizen either. You can be a permanent resident. Again, just $15, and the deadline to become a member so that you can vote in the leadership race is tomorrow. Please do your part, because these leadership races don't come around very often. The last one was in 2017, but that was an anomaly. Again, these things are rare and we need to take advantage of them when they do occur. So please do buy your membership. And while I'm very thankful that Leslyn Lewis is running because she's poised and she's thoughtful, I'm also thankful that there are other pro-lifers in the race. Jack sat down with Derek Sloan as well.
Pleased to introduce you now to one of those leadership candidates, the Member of Parliament for Hastings, Lennox and Addington, Mr. Derek Sloan. Let's get right into it. I want to talk a little bit about your career, your background. You were elected a Member of Parliament in 2019, defeating a pro-abortion Liberal incumbent. Yay! And you're a lawyer by trade who was involved in the landmark Trinity Western University case, defending the Christian school's right to govern itself according to its own religious beliefs. And those are impressive accomplishments, Derek, but your greatest career accomplishment in my book was having the courage to run as an unapologetic, pro-life, pro-family candidate in this Conservative leadership race. And as a result, you've been rewarded by being attacked by both the pro-abortion media and the establishment elite in the party, but you've stood by your principles. So Derek, would you please share with our audience here the pro-life policies that you've announced thus far as part of your election platform?
12 points in the plan. The first is to rescind the Conservative Party's policy number 70, which states that a Conservative government will not support any legislation to regulate abortion. You and I were both present in Halifax, Jack, and we almost got that policy eliminated. But as a leader, I would actively promote the removal of that policy. The second is Unborn Victims of Violence law. So Cassie and Molly's law, as it's been called before. Pregnant women and their unborn children are often the victims of violence or homicide, and yet there is no justice or consideration for the unborn baby. We know that
that's an important policy, Derek, if I may interject. I mean, we hear every year one or two or perhaps more cases where a pregnant mom is murdered or attacked, and the baby ends up dying as well as the mother. And there's no justice for the second life that was taken against the desires of the mother. So that's a great policy.
Yeah, thank you very much. The third is ending foreign aid funding of abortion and of pro-abortion special interest groups. So that includes funding abortion overseas and also funding groups here at home that initiate pro-abortion lawsuits and try and shut down free speech, things like that. The fourth is to implement a Born Alive Infant Protection Act. So any baby born alive, even as the result of a botched abortion, must be given all necessary care to maintain life, including neonatal intensive care. The next is a partial birth abortion ban. So this is something that is banned in many countries. It's obviously a terribly barbaric practice, and it should be banned in Canada as well. The next is free expression and free speech for pro-life individuals. So I would be sure to lift bubble zones that surround abortion clinics that prevent people from being able to protest there, and make sure that pro-life clubs and university campuses are allowed to operate without hindrance. And provinces that don't ensure this type of free expression will have equalization payments clawed back.
And again, Derek, that's a much needed policy. We are seeing, anti-pipeline, anti-oil industry protesters get away almost with murder. I mean, they're literally destroying private property, committing violence, breaking the law, and the police stand by. They're not arrested. Nothing happens. Trudeau doesn't speak out against them. Nothing. The provincial, even Conservative governments let them do it. But when a grandma prays quietly on a public sidewalk outside an abortion facility without even saying a word, maybe if she's a Catholic grandma praying her rosary silently, she'll be arrested and could go to jail for that. That's wrong.
The next plank I have here is ultrasound prior to abortion. So many women complain that information is withheld prior to undergoing an abortion. And in an effort to ensure equality, I would encourage provinces to pass legislation requiring disclosure and requiring an ultrasound provided and shown to the mother prior to an abortion.
Wonderful.
The next is freedom of conscience for healthcare workers. So no doctor, health practitioner, or any health facility shall be compelled to perform or refer for medical assistance in dying or abortion. And provinces that do not ensure freedom of conscience is respected will see their equalization payments clawed back. When it comes to palliative care, we know that many people seeking palliative care don't get it. And adequate access to palliative care reduces the requests for euthanasia. So, and some feel pushed into euthanasia because of a lack of this. I know that Justin Trudeau has promised several times to increase funding. I'm promising to commit $10 billion over 10 years to fund palliative care and help the most vulnerable amongst us.
Much needed. That will be a great help to our seniors and those who are in their final moments to to have a death that's truly dignified and live to its natural end.
The last 12th plank here in my plan is to encourage legislation to prohibit abortion based on gender, whether male or female.
Okay, wonderful. Wow, that's an impressive slate of policies there, 12 in all. I'm sure our March for Life participants here are very thrilled about that. Would you like to say anything, any words of encouragement to the tens of thousands of pro-life Canadians participating in this year's virtual National March for Life?
Sure. Thank you all for what you're doing. You're marching for those who are unable to march for themselves, and your stand today is laying the foundation for this movement in Canada. Keep on marching. Courage can be costly, but compromise is fatal.
Thank you, Derek. And to every Canadian watching this broadcast, I implore you to please get involved. Help us elect a pro-life leader in the Conservative Party. Now, to become a voting member, just visit www.conservative.ca/join and pay the $15 that it costs to get a one-year membership in the party. And it's very important, the deadline to become a voting member is May 15th.